John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
New York City on a Friday night, and it's time for some Friday Night Hoops. You're watching the 2016 Unsigned Hype Senior Showcase from George Westinghouse High School in Brooklyn, New York. It's the first game of two between Team Red and Team Blue. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Pat McCormick, I'm John Perez. Pat, a lot of kids come into this tournament unsigned but still have a lot of ability, and tonight's just another showcase in where kids from all across the five boroughs and even outside of New York City, Hudson Valley, and even Long Island can get their opportunity to shine.
Definitely, and first player I'm going to highlight is from the Bronx, so he's from New York City. That's number 1, Baron Goodrich from Cardinal Hayes. He came in averaging 10.7 points per game. He started as a backup and worked his way into the starting lineup as the season went on. So he's a nice player. And from the blue team is number 3, Marcus St. Furcy from Construction, the second best team out of Queens in the PSAL outside of Cardozo. He led the team in scoring with 16.3 points per game, and he's another fun player to say. So from the blue team, it's Marcus St. Furcy. From the red team, it's Baron Goodrich. Both players, both two very good guards who we could watch today.
There are a couple of student athletes from schools such as Boys and Girls, Wings Academy, and even George Westinghouse. You've got a good surplus of them. With that said, our own Brian Fonseca spoke with the head coach of Billy Turnage. Brian, what do you got for us?
Thanks, guys. You know, I spoke with Coach Billy Turnage yesterday of Wings Academy. He has 2 guys playing in this game today. He has Kevin Saylor from the red team wearing number 5. He has Alonzo Christian from the blue team wearing number 6. He said of Kevin Saylor that he gave him everything he needed, came off the bench and was a key contributor last year, stepped up and played an even bigger role this year as the team got into the PSAL semifinals. Alonzo Christian, he said he got better as the year went on and provided a lot of energy for the team. He hopes that this really works out well for them and that they can get some offers because of their showcase throughout the year and in this game. Guys?
All right, Brian, thank you so much. And we'll tune in with Brian throughout the game. And, Pat, I want to ask you, you know, you just hear those stories about Christian, you hear those stories about Saylor, but there's many types of stories like that in where you'll have somebody that came in that maybe was looked at as a player that was a low D1, maybe high D2, heck, even, you know, low D2, and they play themselves into a higher ranking. You know, you even saw that in the Catholic League with Isaac Grant, who was looked at as a Division III player in the beginning of the year, might have played himself into an NEC-type player. There's many stories like that, and we're going to see that tonight.
Definitely, it's a great opportunity. They start in November. They can make their game progress. They get into playoffs March, and they have a good playoffs, and this is another chance for them to show that they were for real when they became that better player. And if they play well, they get a great chance, and that's why this game is so great.
So with that said, the red team is getting ready. The blue team is getting ready. We're getting ready. We'll step aside right now, and we'll come back with the starting lineups. When we come back on Backpack Broadcasting's production of the 2016 Unsigned Hype Showcase.
Vogue is your go-to source to find the coolest, the hippest shops here in the New York City area that are hidden gems that a lot of people don't really know about, and they're also easy on your wallet. I like that with New York fashion, nobody cares. You can do whatever it is that you please. You can be yourself. You can express yourself the way that you want to with your fashion. And I see myself as a canvas, and my clothes are my art. And I
Live and direct. Live and direct.
Live and direct, I will bring it to your set. I got now, I don't kill, got next.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
Whether you're trying to break into broadcasting, get your own production off the ground, or need the latest social media training, contact BIB Media. Born in Brooklyn. Believe the hype.
Evans for three. Oh, how about that?
And now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move, and finish. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah.
Guys, the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Haradi.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
Vogue is your go-to source to find the coolest, the hippest shops here in the New York City area that are hidden gems that a lot of people don't really know about, and they're also easy on your wallet. I like that with New York fashion, nobody cares. You can do whatever it is that you please. You can be yourself. You can express yourself the way that you want to with your fashion. And I see myself as a canvas, and my clothes are my art. And I like that I can express that here. Some people feel that you have to go to Fifth Avenue or go to Soho to get high-end fashion, and that's not really the case. Sometimes the best places are right in your backyard. Vitrina in Vogue is about finding stores that cater to everyone and make everyone feel like they don't have to fit a mold. You've just been Vogue is a saying that I say that is pretty much saying you've just been informed. I just put you on to the best of the best. You've just been Vogue.
Live and direct. Live and direct, I will bring it to your set. I got now, I don't kill, got neck.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
Whether you're trying to break into broadcasting, get your own production off the ground, or need the latest social media training, contact BIB Media. Born in Brooklyn. Believe the hype.
Evans for three. Oh, how about that?
And now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move, and finish. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah. Guys the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Haradi.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
Vogue is your go-to source to find the coolest, the hippest shops here in the New York City area that are hidden gems that a lot of people don't really know about, and they're also easy on your wallet. I like that with New York fashion, nobody cares. You can do whatever it is that you please. You can be yourself. You can express yourself the way that you want to with your fashion, and I see myself as a canvas, and my clothes are my art.
And welcome back to George Westinghouse for the first game of 2 games in the 2016 Unsigned Hype Showcase here in Brooklyn, New York. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Brooklyn Bridge. And let's get you the starting lineups. First for the blue team, it'll be Jameer Cheek out of Boys and Girls, Denzel Haynes, DeAndre Lamb, Alonzo Christian, and Kyrie Johnson. On the red side, Baron Goodrich, Malik Riley, Emmanuel Egbuda, Karomi Grant, and Josh Prius. The tip and the tap, and here we go. It'll be 2 20-minute halves, just like the college game. A running clock, and a great opportunity for those who desire. Here's Baron Goodrich out of Cardinal Hayes trying to stuff it down low, and it'll stay with red. It's a good crop of talent you see amongst AA divisions in both the Catholic League and the PSAL, as it's Goodrich at the top of the key getting a screen from Riley. No shot clock here either. It's a game in which scouts want to see situations as getting the big block was Egbuda on Alonzo Christian, but Christian recovers. You know, you see this in different sports, Pat. I know in baseball showcases, they'll have a maximum of 5 batters per inning, and it's always 1 out regardless of what batters 1, 2, 3, and 4 do. And now we'll see it here in the Unsigned Hype Showcase. And the follow back by Kyrie Johnson out of Lincoln. Johnson had his minutes limited this year. The product of being on a very good team, lost in the PSAL finals to eventual Federation champion Jefferson with the steal and the slam. Egbuda out of Westside High School.
Emmanuel Egbuda's off to a great start. Off a turnover, got the block, and then after another turnover by Red, he steals the ball and brings home a monster slam. So Egbuda playing all parts of the floor very well early on here.
Now, Pat, one thing that we were talking about before we came on air was that there are a lot of guards in this showcase. And, for instance, you get certain players like Josh Primus, who is 6'9". You know, you get a couple of bigs out there. And in a basketball era where the game is dominated by good guards, this could be one opportunity to stand out amongst the rest, knowing that bigs are at a premium.
Definitely is for forwards to control their handle, and also could do what they can do down low, having it head up. It's also a nice chance for them to display their outside game, pop out a little, see if they can take the ball, drive it, so they can display different aspects by playing a smaller game here today.
Goodrich, the kick out, and it goes out of bounds.
Nice defensive pace here early, though, John.
And that's something that, when you think showcase in basketball, It's not necessarily the defense. It's a big offensive game, and somebody who didn't have a big offensive game because he was also a product of a team that went very far, in fact, the Federation champion. That's Karomi Grant. Only averaged 1.7 points a game, but that's what's going to happen when you play with Curtis Smith and Shamari Pons and Rasheen Dunn.
On that previous basket, Johnson with a nice move down low. He has the first 4 points for Blue.
The up and under is missed by Grant, and going back the other way, it's Lamb. Lamb gets stripped by Riley. Riley, the home product, plays at George Westinghouse, throwing the lob towards Egbuda. Now Egbuda again, drawing a double team. Reverse layup. Can't rattle in. And there's a nice finish. Hayes from Jameer Cheek. Denzel Hayes out of Transit Tech. First Blue player not named Johnson. Enter himself in the scoring sheet. Now Goodrich the pull-up, foot on the line, cash. Baron Goodrich averaging 8 points a game from Cardinal Hayes. He stepped up when Clive Allen was suspended for a fracas with Isaiah Washington from St. Ray's earlier this year. Played really well in the following games against Malloy and Zavarian. At the beginning of the year, he was the backup point guard, and then Joe Lodes would incorporate him in his offense.
Nice layup by Alonzo Christian on the other end to make it 8-6 Blue.
Now it's Riley feeding inside. Grant trying to throw it off the shoot tops of Hayes, and Blue goes the other way. It's Cheek. Cheek all alone, and it can't get any easier. Cheek from boys and girls. Split time between the one guard position and the two guard position this year. Now Goodrich, deep three straight away. Can't stick it. But a nice deflection, Goodrich trying to break up the pass, and now the wholesaler changes where everyone else comes back in.
John, in the first 5 minutes or so, it seems like each team's trying to feel each other out, what they can do. They're trying to push the pace, they're slowing it down, and it's a little hesitant out there to get their game going. I feel as the game goes on for the second group, and then when they come back out there again, the game's going to flow a lot more since they've played once and they realize what's going on out there.
Marcus St. Furcy, Ronald Jefferson, Jermaine Frazier, and Leonard Luton come on in for the blue team. For the red team, it's Najee Scott, Brian Adams, Kevin Saylor, Deshaun Beckles, and Akeem Tate. Second chance from Frazier. Frazier, the diligent worker from Valley Stream Central. But he can't fill up the cup. Now Najee Scott shifting it on over. Driving baseline, Saylor, the kick out. Scott from three, cash.
That's a broken play by Red. He was looking down low, but Scott did a nice job getting to the three-point arc and knocking down the three.
Scott averaged 13 points a game at boys and girls this year. 10-9 Team Blue. Now the three goes in. Dante Sanders from Satellite Academy.
John Dante Sanders averaged 52.4 points a game according to the PSL website. Only. He could score the ball. But Najee Scott showing some range on the other end with his second consecutive three.
You know, Najee Scott started his high school career at Bishop Laughlin, came over to boys and girls before his junior year. His head coach, Ruth Lovelace, says that she's seen his confidence grow more and more, and he's sculpting himself into a high D2, possible low D1 player.
He's shown his range on both of his three-pointers, one from the corner, one from way downtown center arc.
I know it can't be stated enough, but shooting is such a premium when it comes to college basketball, and you know, sometimes you find diamonds in the rough where their one specialty actually is to hit the outside shot. And that's something that could potentially come from these showcases. You know, you hear a lot of D1 schools and their head coaches will say, you know, we didn't even have player X on our radar. We went to a showcase to look at somebody else, and he fell into our laps. This could potentially be what we have this evening. And a nice move. That's Akeem Tate, also a hometown product. Plays right here at George Westinghouse, averaging 16.5 points a game. And it's the red team with their deficit cut to 1. Now going the other way. That's Kevin Saylor with the bump, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Nice job seeing the hole, attacking it and drawing the foul. So we've seen a little bit of everything so far, John. The three, some drives, some nice passes. So shaping up first 8 minutes has been fun.
Kevin Saylor went to wings. The player that can shoot it from the outside, southpaw. Played an integral role 2 years ago when Wings won the Federation over Christ the King up in Albany. Came off the bench, not as quick as other players on that Wings team, but he played in an offense that got him some open looks, and he took advantage. Hits the second free throw. And now they throw the home run pass. And Ronald Jefferson out of Christ the King in Middle Village.
It was like he was running a stop-and-go route there. He stopped at half court, took off, and a nice layup.
You know, we saw a lot of stop-and-go routes in the Villanova, Oklahoma Final Four game and late in that second half. And here we go again, all alone. It's Ronald Jefferson. And he draws the contact.
It looked like he was looking to throw it down.
And then he realized, maybe it's not a good idea. I'll take the safe layup. And before he knew it, he was fouled.
He got fouled, so there's a chance to tie the game at 16. Jefferson out of Christ the King, like you mentioned, he averaged 2.44 points per game with the Royals this year.
That was a Christ the King team that was loaded with Division I talent. Tyrone Cohen, Jose Alvarado, who's only a junior unsigned. Even Yaya Bright Gonzalez.
They made a run to the Catholic semis, losing to Bishop Lachlan, who eventually lost to Severian, who won it all.
Scott, he played at Lachlan just a couple of years ago, but he strokes his third three.
Nice range by Scott. He's hit threes from 3 different parts of the floor here.
9 points for Scott. Here's Jefferson on the inside, loses the handle.
Jefferson's shown he's not afraid to attack early on.
And, Pat, here's something to keep an eye out, too, and I want to get your thoughts on it. You know, you get a player like Ronald Jefferson, even Karomi Grant from Jefferson as splashing the triple was DeAndre Lamb. He's on the board out of Seward Park. Is that you'll have players that were stuck behind a Jose Alvarado, a Shamari Pons, and they didn't get their opportunity to shine as much in game action, and now they're actually getting that opportunity. And like we said, seizing that opportunity, this is the place to do it.
This is the chance to do it. One game, you can get it started, and then going in, maybe you get that shot like you said, and they come to practice, they work hard, they could get their spot coming in every day in a rotation, a college player, and get that much better. So this is definitely a starting point to get better and work towards getting that scholarship and playing at the next level.
So we'll get a reset. Brian Adams to throw the inbound. Brian Adams out of St. Ray's. St. Ray's losing a heartbreaker to Christ the King in the Catholic City quarterfinals at Fordham. And what was pretty much a home game. St. Ray's not that far from Fordham. And Najee Scott, well, he can hit the three, and he can draw a charge. And Najee Scott has been pretty impressive these first 10 minutes.
Coaches like defense, and that's great to show coaches you can play offense, but you can also get back on defense, be tough, and take a charge. It's a great play by Najee Scott on defense.
I had the opportunity to attend an Archbishop Malloy practice earlier this year, and I'll finish that thought in a second as it gets thrown away. But anyway, Mike McCleary, the head coach over at Malloy, was getting on his team after they came back from Elmira and where they lost to Bishop Kearney, went 2-1 in that point. And of course, Malloy would lose to Zavarian as we get a wholesaler changes coming from the red and blue side. But Pat, he was on his team for the first 20 minutes. Guys, you need to draw a charge. I'm doing my best impression. It's not that good. But I remember the one question that really stood out, the rhetorical question that many coaches will ask to their teams numerous times. What do we have to do to draw a charge? Do you guys want to draw a charge? I'll tell you one thing, that next game against Half Hollow Hills West, a game that had Keon Dalrymple in there, one of the top players in Long Island. It was Don Priolo, who, for what it's worth, will be a good D3 player if he so chooses to go to a school like that. I haven't spoken to Dom, so I'm not exactly sure where he's going. But, you know, that's something that can be translated to the next level. Yeah, it's great, you know, it's great to shoot, but even Cheek freeing up. Wide open three. Christian rattles out. And the board goes to Egbuda. Now Jefferson aggressive again. And he gets the roll.
Ronald Jefferson showing he can drive.
And they've said that Ronald Jefferson could step into any school, maybe like a Baruch, like a Hunter, even Brooklyn College, and flourish.
Just growing as a person. You get a good education. You go to practice every day. It's a great experience to play 4 years of any college sport.
Here's Baron Goodrich. Nice pass underneath. Primus can't handle it. Going to the floor was Grant, and we'll get a tie-up. All right, so with that said, Brian Fonseca.
How you going to pump fake me like that?
Gianni Ford. Brian, what do you got for us?
Guys, I'm here with Gianni Ford of Boys and Girls High School, who will be playing in the second game on the black team. Gianni, what's it like just being in one of these showcases as you get closer to a decision? You're now in your senior year. What do you think a game like this does for you?
I feel like this game gives New York kids another chance to like get out there. Sometimes it's really hard, you know, with AAU, not enough AAU teams for all the New York kids. So events like this gives New York kids another chance to get out there.
And as you watch, you know, some of your peers play in the next game, what are some of the things that you're trying to do for the coaches, for whoever's in attendance, for whoever's watching online? Just some things that you're trying to do out here in this game.
Oh, I just want to show them what I've been doing all year, because I know they weren't there for attendance during the season. So I just want to show them what I did all year.
All right, we're going to let you enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you
very much, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brian. You won't meet a better kid than Gianni Ford. And it's a shame what that team had to go through this year. They lost Jaquan Lightfoot, who was a big that could have certainly seeded boys and girls a lot higher. They played in a really tough division, too, with Jefferson, with Lincoln, even George Westinghouse. And Gianni Ford, when a team needed a leader, he was there.
Spoke about defense. Grant with a nice block on the other end.
Now good ball movement and another block.
And you talk about the plays that win championships. Grant was a member of that Jefferson team that beat Lincoln in a Federation title game and also won the city. I messed up. They beat Lincoln in the city title game and won the Federation title.
Correct.
I got it right eventually. I knew I would.
Here's Jefferson. And now Goodrich. It's Riley. Splash. Riley, an athletic kid, led the Warriors in dunks this year. And head coach Everett Kelly said that when he would go up for a dunk, it shifted his team into another gear. And it would cap off 15-2 runs, 20-2 runs. Those are his numbers, not mine. But certainly when you have somebody that can throw an exclamation point on the stat sheet, it's a plus.
Definitely gets the team going.
Nice hands by Jefferson, costing the turnover. It's Cheek, and a whistle brings it the other way. Denzel Hayes comes in for blue. And Leonardo Jorge out of Academy of Finance. Yes, and the foul. Egbuda again. Egbuda had the fast start. Deferred over to Scott for a little bit. And now he's back in the box score.
He's shown he could take the ball to the rim, finish with a dunk earlier, got the layup there, and one. Very strong on defensive end, too. A couple blocks, so he's a nice player down low.
5 points for Egbuda. And now Cheek, guarded by Jorge. Cheek blowing past the defense, and he draws a foul. That's Jorge with the foul.
John, looking at Cheek's numbers from boys and girls, he averaged 6.7 points a game, averaged 6.5 assists, and 7.3 rebounds. So very well-rounded in all three aspects in rebounding, scoring, and also dishing it out. So that's a nice touch to a player looking for a playmaker.
Seen as a high D2 player. As you saw, he's not afraid to get into the lane. That's been his bread and butter all year with the Kangaroos.
And that also creates, you drive the lane, you open someone else on the block, you dish it off for an easy basket as well. So driving creates many opportunities on the floor.
Here's Goodrich. Yes, and the foul with Alonzo Christian all over him. We didn't see it today, but Goodrich is a player that normally will warm up with his Beats by Dre headphones on. And I'm talking about 4 minutes before the game, not an hour before the game. And Joe Load says, hey, whatever works.
Gets into his own zone.
Yeah. Now Cheek looking down low. Now they get it to Johnson. The kick out. Cheek, triple, short. They throw the outlet. It's Goodrich off the backboard and finishing. Egbuda.
Nice awareness by Goodrich, knowing Egbuda's behind him and getting the assist off the glass.
There's Denzel Hayes. Here's Goodrich now, the kick out. Jorge trying to throw it in towards Primus. And now the other way. It's Hayes. Hayes over Jorge, no. Kick out Jefferson, another three. Back iron. Jorge fumbles the pass. Here's Jefferson. Jefferson bringing it in and one.
Ronald Jefferson time and time again today showing he can take the ball to the rack. This time coming in from the left side with Jorge all over him and finishes.
And now the wholesale changes again. Pat, it's kind of like hockey with the frequency that these guys will come in and how they come in. I mean, it's not every 30 seconds, but in basketball terms, it seems very short.
It does, but it's good because you get the players in 5 minute span, get the other batch in another 5 minute span, and they're getting exposure, but they're also taking time to get to the sidelines and think about what's going out there so they can be better next time they come out onto the floor.
Tate. Akeem Tate. Averaged just under 17 points a game. He transferred from Knightdale High School in North Carolina. Only played 1 year under Everett Kelly. But he's a player that can score from different spots on the floor, and we saw it there.
He led Westinghouse in scoring as well.
Here's Scott, deep three, and he banks it in.
John, the bank's open at 6:50 on Friday?
Not where I'm from.
It is here in Brooklyn.
Yes, sir. Scott was feeling it, defers, now he wants it back. Triple threat position. Turnaround. No good. Good defense out of Fursey. And the second chance. Beckles from Eagle Academy. He was their leading scorer at 16 points a game. And Eagle Academy finishing second in the Bronx AA division behind Wings Academy. Lost to Jefferson in the second round of the PSAL playoffs. Eagle Academy is a team to watch next year. They'll have Marquise Dubose. He averaged 12 points a game this year. He'll be a senior in the 2016-2017 season. Now the kick out. Sailor off the mark. Here comes Sanders. High off the glass. No. And a whistle called. Beckles will go to the line.
So Beckles gathering the rebound and the putback on the last score, and then running the floor and getting fouled there.
DeAndre Lamb was the one with the foul. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. It's been pretty competitive, pretty close. And one more shot upcoming. And one of two. You have to ask him if he's declaring. You got to ask him if he's declaring for the draft, what he's going to do. If he's coming back. Yeah, tell him. Yeah, Brian, you got to ask him if he's declaring for the draft. All right? We'll do it at halftime. Oh, yeah, here. I don't have a headset. That's fine.
So we played about 17 minutes and 30 seconds here. And, John, we have a nice competitive game going on.
It has been pretty close.
42-36 red, and players showing all the different things they could do. It's been fun.
So we got about 2.5 minutes. These teams will talk it over before a quick halftime. Okay. So here's Dante Sanders, the kick out. And now it's Lamb, loses it. So less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll speak to George Westinghouse coach Everett Kelly, who has thrown some pretty nice events here at the Brooklyn Bridge Holiday Classic right after Christmas time. That was a fun one. Now driving on the inside and using the glass, Kevin Saylor.
Pace of the game has picked up a little, John.
Brian, that's Kelly, you know, right? Stay with him, So now Najee Scott with under a minute to go. Tate couldn't finish. And Saylor will go to the line. So Kevin Saylor averaged 14 points a game this year over at Wings. So about 45 seconds to go without a shot clock. It'll be interesting to see how each team plays the final minute. Now Fursey, pull up. Short hits off the treetops, and we'll stay with Lamb. And Lamb trying to keep it on that side of the court. Here's Tate, gets fouled by Sanders. I'll say it was on the floor. Now Najee Scott. Scott gets his shot deflected by Lamb. Wanted a foul on that one. Maybe tried a little too much. Here's Sanders. Allegedly averages 50 points a game like Wilt Chamberlain. And that will do it for the first half. We played one.
And I like that I can express that here. Some people feel that you have to go to Fifth Avenue or go to Soho to get high-end fashion, and that's not really the case. Sometimes the best places are right in your backyard. Vicrina and Vogue is about finding stores that cater to everyone and make everyone feel like they don't have to fit a mold. You've just been Vogue is a saying that I say that is pretty much saying you've just been informed. I just put you on to the best of the best. You've just been Vogue.
It's halftime here at George Westinghouse. Brian Fonseca is standing with the head coach of George Westinghouse, Everett Kelly. Brian?
Guys, I'm here with Coach Kelly from Westinghouse.
Because the coaches have become familiar with this event this time of year, and they're looking to come out and find guys that they don't have an opportunity to see during the year. So this event becomes very important for every kid playing in the event. It's a chance that they may not have gotten during the season.
And in your case, it's got to be nice to host an event like this, right? You know, it's here at Westinghouse. Westinghouse is the place to be for tonight. You got both games. You got a lot of talent in the building. You got, you got it all right now.
Yeah, right now it's just great. It helps us in the exposure of the school and everyone getting an opportunity to come down and see what we have to offer as well as far as a facility and how, our hospitality with events like this, just to continue to build for our program and to bring back the reputation that we're trying to build here at Westinghouse High School.
All right, thank you, Coach. We're going to let you enjoy the rest of the games. Hopefully your guys, continue to play well and play well throughout the rest of the night. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Second half action coming out with the red team up 47-36. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Live and direct. Live and direct, I will bring it to your set. I got now, I don't kill, got neck.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
Whether you're trying to break into broadcasting, get your own production off the ground, or need the latest social media training, contact BIB Media. Born in Brooklyn. Believe the hype.
Back here at George Westinghouse, second half set to start. Quickest halftime I've seen in a while, Pat.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You won't get any complaints out of me as well. A 47-36 lead for the red team. But we've seen some positives. Ronald Jefferson, Najee Scott have been really impressive thus far, Pat.
They have Najee Scott showing his range from downtown. He's hit a couple threes from way beyond the arc. Ronald Jefferson stealing the ball. He's also shown he can finish. Knocked down a couple foul shots as well. So Scott from three. Jefferson driving the ball and playing defense have really caught my attention in the first half.
And we spoke about it. I guess, you don't want to beat a dead horse, Pat, but when you are a guy like Ronald Jefferson and you get stuck behind a couple of high major D1 players, you say to yourself, And I'm sure he's saying, he said to himself throughout the year, you know what? I'm just as good, if not better, than some of these guys. Now, from the outside eye, that might not be the case. But in his mind, you'd imagine any player with a killer instinct would have that. Ronald Jefferson, even Najee Scott with Gianni Ford on his team, have really taken the onus in this showcase thus far.
And it's good for a player to come into this game. He's coming, he's doing the right things. He's playing defense, he's playing offense, he's rebounding. So he's doing all the things you need to do to win. And he probably brought that every day in practice, and he probably made those guys who played every day that much better.
Riley dumping it in towards Egbuda. Egbuda walled up by Lutton. Now gets stripped. Hayes with the strip and the takeaway, and the pass off to Jefferson. Pull-up jumper, no. Now here's Goodrich the other way. Riley with the scoop. Malik Riley from George Westinghouse, and the blue team will call a timeout.
Right opening up a lead in the latter half of that first half. And now they're sustaining it a minute 30 in, and Blue wants to make some adjustments to come back into this game.
You'd have to imagine, just like most all-star games, that it's for the better of the individual. It's to put on a show. For these kids, too, it's even to get some honest looks from head coaches that are scattered throughout the stands. But you'd have to imagine, as we get closer to maybe under 10 minutes, this game will be a lot more competitive going forward.
I can tell you the guys definitely want to win. It's just a competitive nature. They want to win, but they also want to show off their talent. But coming down the stretch, like you said, they're definitely going to do what they can to try and win this game and get the bragging rights, because I'm sure they're playing against some of their friends from the city.
Christian slips. Goodrich throwing it up. Egbuda underneath. Too strong. The tap in from Grant, no. That ball will go out of bounds. Lamb taking the initiative.
Nice defensive play there, swatting the ball out of bounds on the layup attempt.
Off the side of the basket was Lutton. Now Riley, in and out. Lutton from Bronx Regional, scooting into the front court. Now Christian. Lutton lost the handle. Saylor, he lost the handle too. Jefferson the other way. Nice touch pass. Lutton behind the back to Hayes.
Nice play by Lutton. Lutton out of Bronx Regional. He led his team in rebounds with 7.5 per game, second in scoring with 15.1. So nice play out of Bronx Regional in the BSAL.
Haynes with 8 today.
That was interesting. He went up for the layup. He got stuck. Would have been a jump ball, but they called the foul. So Grant will shoot 2 instead of an alternate possession. Haven't seen that one before. I've seen the ball get stuck between the backboard and the rim, but never on a layup and a foul.
Exactly. Hey, you see something new every day.
Keeps it fun, and you keep on learning.
Yeah.
So the foul overturns the jump ball anyway. So.
Correct. So Jerome Grant. Out of Jefferson. Only averaged 2 points a game. Grant will spin it. Grab his own miss. Now the southpaw, Saylor, off the mark. Gets it again, dishes it inside. Riley backs off. So the ball to Lutton, and they'll reset. Goodrich, long 3, and he dials it in.
Goodrich showing a little bit of everything this half, driving the ball, passing the ball, and knocking down threes.
Goodrich from distance. And the high floating shot. That was Christian.
Nice job altering his shot and getting it up and in with a big defender right on him.
Loose ball. Here's Christian. Nice pass on the inside, but blowing the dunk was Lamb.
Nice idea.
Well, what was it? $1 million move, but a 2-cent finish?
I mean, sometimes it's easier to just lay the ball up.
Yep.
2 points is 2 points.
Especially in a showcase. Where you've got so many eyes on you.
Sometimes the simpler plays look a lot better than the more complex ones.
And Malik Riley with the bucket. Under 16 minutes to go in the second half. Splitting the defenders, Lutton. And now we'll get the changes in.
Nice defense by the blue player. I missed his number since there's a player right by him and another blue player by him. But he stood his ground. He didn't take the charge, but he caused it travel. That's just as good as a charge in that situation.
So now we're all squared. And here comes Jameer Cheek. Cheek, nice ball movement. Sanders, a triple, bang.
So some of Sanders' numbers, we mentioned he averaged over 50 points a game. In Satellite Academy's win over Wildcat Academy, he had 58 points. And then later in the season, in a loss to Westside, he scored 61 points in a 97-74 defeat. So he definitely could put the ball in the hoop, and he showed that with that 3. Just crazy numbers for a high school player, though.
You have to question the authenticity of those things, too. Maybe somebody put the wrong number in the wrong bracket.
58 and 61 kind of back it up, but...
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, he backed up twice.
Yeah, hey. I'll tell you one thing, though. If you're scoring 60 points in high school, I don't care what level you were aspiring to be at, you'd have to imagine you would have an offer by now.
Yeah, but other factors all could come into play.
I mean, let's think about it like this, too. Sanders, you look at him, right? He's not the tallest guy in the gym, probably a couple inches under 6 foot. There he is, 1 in blue. But, you know, basketball nowadays, these players come in all shapes and sizes. You know, arguably the best player in the league is 6'3" and Steph Curry. You know, you don't need to be 6'6", 6'8". You know, these massive sculptures that these players are. You can flourish at all levels. And my point to Sanders is he might not be the biggest guy, but neither was Muggsy Bogues, and he only played 14 years in the league.
True. I hear where you're coming from there.
And you know what? A lot of people will say, well, you know, in the NBA, some players weren't as good. Maybe Nate Robinson wasn't as good.
He won 3 dunk titles, though.
He won 3 dunk titles. He still got to the NBA. Like, that's not, you know, you can't just sign up and then play in the National Basketball Association.
And he played a few years. He played with the Knicks. He played with the Celtics. He had a good run. It's not like he played 1 year and left.
They're not sisters of the poor in the NBA, to say the least.
You have to be able to play.
So here's Jameer Cheek. Sanders. Sanders will pull up again. Does not get the shooter's roll. Cheek blocked from behind.
Nice job by Tate, the Westinghouse product with the block there.
Those two playing in the same division. As we'll have a timeout, we'll step aside. 13:38 to go. You're watching the 2016 Unsigned Hype Senior Showcase presented by Backpack Broadcasting. Evans for three. Oh, how about that?
And now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move, and finish. Pretty good. 3 in red. Yeah. 13.5 to go. Tate on the inside gets blocked. And now the kick out. It's Adams. And it swirls in. Brian Adams on the board. The senior out of St. Ray's. And there's Jameer Cheek tickling the twine. He's got 7 points. And here's Cheek. Sanders. Sanders will get it back. Stop and pop. No. And a traveling violation.
Blue forcing 2 turnovers back-to-back after they give the bucket after the timeout. So keeping it a 9-point game with 12:32 left.
So Jameer Cheek into the front court. It is a little strange to see these players not in their normal colors. Of course, boys and girls wears the black away jerseys, even with the red. So Sanders throwing it in. Here's Tate. Tate gets blocked. But a foul's going to be called on Primus. Primus has a pretty interesting story too, Pat, from Bishop Laughlin, played in Tennessee last year.
He played for Tennessee. And I was talking to him before the game, John, and he said that they have better guards up here, but going down there helped him become a better skilled player in the low block. He went to Bishop Laughlin High School before that, and he's getting some D1 looks he was telling me before the game. So he's a nice player from Brooklyn, went away. He said he became a better player that way, and hopefully by playing in this game and through going to Tennessee, he could get an offer and play D1.
It's interesting to see throughout the country different players that flourish. Of course, in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, whatever you want to call it, New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, heavy guard play. Maybe in Tennessee, it's a big man's game. You know, throughout the country, obviously the West Coast is very flashy. So you get different blends of players. I did hear from one coach, and this was just obscure. Seattle's known for its shooters.
I don't know about that, but hey, it's always raining, so maybe it rains water and rains threes.
There you go. I like what you did there.
I kind of like what I did there. I don't know. Blue team cut it to a 3-point game, though.
And now it starts to get competitive. Here's Scott feeding it over. It's Adams. Down low, Scott. Nice job moving without the ball, Najee Scott.
Scott knocking down threes in the first half. Nice job getting position on the block there here in the second half to extend the red lead to 5.
And Scott has 12. Sanders can't connect. Johnson. Johnson with a miss and a whistle. Jorge for 3. It's nothing. Here's Cheek. Now scooped up. Frazier. No. And there's Johnson to clean up the mess. Here's Akeem Tate. Tate high off the glass. No. Here comes Marcus St. Furcy. Off to Sanders and the kick out. It's Jameer Cheek. Cheek, no look inside. And Jermaine Frazier gets on the board.
You have to figure, John, after that timeout, if the coach preached defensive intensity, they would have cut an 11-point lead to a 1-point lead right after that timeout in a short span.
They throw the outlet. Nice catch. And an even prettier finish. St. Furcy, we featured him in the open. Out of construction, one of the better teams in the public school Queens system. And a traveling violation on the Brooklynite turn Tennessee and back to Brooklynite. Josh Primus.
Fire wagon chain, John. So we'll see about 8 new bodies here.
Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Brian Fonseca will talk to Dave Cordova.
Dave's all over the place. See him in college games, see him in high school gyms. Doing a good job for Gotham Hoops.
I can't think of one gym I didn't see Dave in this year.
Also team manager for St. Francis College.
There you go. He does it all.
Dave's a good guy. I, too, once was a team manager for St. Francis College as well.
How was that?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. Got to travel with the team. Got to see what practice was like. It's really cool.
But the good thing about those honorable scholar athletes is they never partied or anything, so that never happened, right?
Well, as we talk about managers at St. Francis College, you have to give a shout-out to Garrett Kelly, who won the conference at Lincoln as his first year as assistant coach.
There you go.
Garrett Kelly, good-time guy.
So when will you win, Pat?
I'm going to win Miami one day.
All right. There you go.
We'll come back 35 years from now.
We'll get the N1. All righty. So Brian Fonseca is standing with David Cordova pretty soon. We'll get him over as Kevin Saylor is at the free throw line. Brian, what do you got for us?
I'm here with Dave Cordova with Gotham Hoops, who attends a lot of these high school games and a lot of these high school showcases. Dave, what do you like of what you've seen tonight so far?
I see a lot of versatility in a lot of these players. There's a lot of talent in the building. You know what I'm saying? It's great. And on a great court.
So about the showcase, what do you think is the importance of being able to get these opportunities to showcase themselves in front of the crowds, in front of college coaches, people that are watching online, things of that nature?
Basically, it's the chance of a lifetime, to get a free college scholarship. A lot of kids out here are dying would die for this opportunity, and a lot of kids aren't able to get it. So for all these young men to get this opportunity, it's a great thing.
Now, we both know you're very well connected with the high school scene. You know what's going on. Do you have any sleepers? Do you have any favorites? Guys to look out for in Game 2, which is going to start at 8 p.m. later tonight.
Damari Moore of Westinghouse. I have to look at the list, but yeah, in this game is Dante Sanders. He averaged 52 points in the alternative league this year. Definitely a good talent. Kevin Saylor, he's playing right now. It's a lot of good talent in here that played in the PSAL and the Catholic League. So yeah, definitely tune in.
All right, Dave, we're going to let you enjoy the rest of this one. You can find them at a high school gym near you. Back to you guys.
Good stuff, Brian. 7:15 to go, and it's the blue team that's taken the lead for the first time in a long time, I'd imagine early in the first half. And the miss coming from Ekbuda. Now Scott. Scott threading the needle. Nice bounce pass and the finish. Ekbuda. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Blue team slowing down the pace here, John.
6 assists for Najee Scott. Here's Jefferson, the rising fire. Splash.
Ronald Jefferson, big first half down low, knocking down threes now. Showing he can do it all.
And you know, sometimes it's just you need to be in the right situation. Donald Jefferson obviously is going to get a good education at Christ the King. He'll graduate in the first week of June. But you'd have to imagine if you put him in, and this is no disrespect to other programs, but you know, if you put him on maybe a Zavarian, you put him on Malloy, you know, or even younger, more inexperienced programs like St. Francis Prep, Holy Cross, he'd be a star. It wouldn't even be close. Instead, he goes to a winning program, learns how to play basketball the right way. It might not show up in the stat sheet, but very beneficial when it comes to this showcase.
Definitely, he's making the most of this opportunity.
So DeAndre Lamb at the line from Seaward Park. And Lamb now with 4 as Lutton comes in for the blue team. And Brian Adams back in for St. Ray's. One of 2. Gets his own miss, going in strong. And a held ball.
I don't know what was said in that timeout, but it really tilted the game. Last 5 minutes or so. Blue team trailed by 11 points. Now they're up by 7. 18-point swing in just about 5 minutes.
Been a good run.
They kind of slowed the game down, and they're making more defensive stops.
Splitting the defense was Riley and a whistle. So I'm not exactly sure how many fouls that these. We know for a fact there's obviously been no shot clock. Players can't foul out. I'm curious to see how many timeouts are going to be allowed to the teams. There's Najee Scott.
Nice move, just couldn't get the finish.
Now the pass up, intercepted Adams. He'll skip it ahead. It's Egbuda to the rack.
Egbuda showing time and time again he can take the ball to the rack. Nice finish there. Makes it a 5-point game with 5:05 left.
And I'll finish up on my point. It'll be interesting to see if this game does get close in the final 2 minutes, what timeouts are taken, and maybe that's what college coaches are looking at too, how these players handle the final 2 minutes. He's getting the bucket again, Egbuda. He's got 13.
And also how they slow a game down. I'm sure game management's important. How you work the clock, how you work for a smart shot. These are all things that you may not score, but you work clock, and it's how you win basketball games.
And something that these New York City kids at least are not used to, that they could theoretically hold the ball for the final 2 minutes, whoever has the lead, not playing with a shot clock.
And that's something that we see time. I know I've seen a couple Jersey games, and it works to some of their advantages. I also find it interesting, I know you and I have worked games, PSAL against the Catholic School League. They like to run and gun in the PSL, and they slow it down in the Catholic League. But when they meet, it's different. Because, you know, Cardozo beat Christ the King twice. In the past 2 years,
Boys and girls beat Bishop Laughlin too. South Shore beat Bishop Laughlin.
Last 2 years, Jefferson won the city title. The Federation title, and Wings won against Christ the King again. And it's very interesting to see how the two different brands meet, and in close games how they coming in. Because so is Christ the King. Cardozo games came down to a tip-in in the last second shot.
And ironically, it was Aaron Walker who played the role of hero for Cardozo, somebody who started his career at Archbishop Malloy.
He's also going to Manhattan College.
Yep. And that was a late offer, too, because Ron Niclario said in February that he still didn't have any offers and that Manhattan was interested. Well, they played at the Apparel Challenge as getting the dunk and finishing with authority was Karomi Grant. But Ron Niclario actually saw Steve Masiello at the Apparel Challenge, and bluntly, because I saw this happen, said, "Hey, what's the deal with Aaron? Why doesn't he have an offer?" And Masiello, who looked like he just saw a man with 3 heads, said, "We offered him." And Niclario said, "I don't think you did because he doesn't know the offer's on the table." Well, they did offer him and he accepted.
What a shot by Najee Scott from way downtown to make it a 2-point game. And now the Red has a chance to tie it off of the double dribble violation from Ronald Jefferson. So 3:30 left, John. We have a 2-point game. Very exciting.
It is getting exciting now. And now we'll see the more mature players on the floor, even though they're all seniors. One interesting note, though, I'm not sure, we haven't gotten any word. We haven't seen Baron Goodrich in a while.
No, he's on the bench. He doesn't seem to be hurt.
Now Scott underneath. Grant can't handle it. Scooping it up, that's Fursey. Now Cheek. Three minutes to go. Cheek putting it on the deck. Now at the elbow. Johnson back out to Sanders. Sanders almost gets his pocket pick. Ball still loose. Fursey up and under. He'll give the blue team a 4-point lead. Now Scott from 3. No. The boys and girls contingent at center court was ready to erupt.
Almost made it in, too. Good look.
Not exactly sure who they're rooting for. Cheek on the blue team, Scott on the red.
You want one of your guys to hit the game-winning shot. I think that's what you root for. And that would have made it a 1-point game. And
Sanders off the catch and shoot. Too strong. And now Scott again. Scott has done a good job in the 1-guard position thus far tonight. I know that he's had opportunities to be the 1-guard this year. As missing from 3 is Egbuda.
last 2 possessions, the red team has shot 3s when they can work the ball inside. And it's only a 4-point game with under 2 minutes left, so why not take the ball inside and try to lay it up?
And now the pass out. So I think as Doc Emmerich would say, final 103 seconds or final 100?
Yes, final 100 seconds.
Here's Cheek. Cheek carving up the zone and getting to the cup. Blue by 6, and red needs a basket. It's Tate. Up towards Scott. The handoff, Tate. Tate dishing it off. Beckles loses it. Tate again. 3 ball off the mark to the right. And under a minute to go. Here's Cheek.
This is where no shot clock can play a huge factor here in this game.
Not sure the red team will particularly foul. Maybe they will. But not without going for a steal first. Here's Sanders.
Already killed 20 seconds off the clock. Good job by the blue team being aware and not shooting the ball.
Johnson loses it. And it'll stay that way with blue, 32.7. Here's Sanders. The kick out, Johnson. Now underneath on the reverse, blowing the layup was Haynes. And red
So they take a shot and give the red team some hope.
And now it's taken away. There goes that hope. The blue will hold it down. And they'll get the victory in game number 1. 79-73. Jameer Cheek and Najee Scott, 2 teammates, really close with each other. Well, it was a good game. The blue team, the 79-73 win. We'll be right back. We'll talk to our players of the game. You're watching game 1 of the 2016 Unsigned Hype Senior Showcase. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah. Guys, the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Haradi.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
Vogue is your go-to source to find the coolest, the hippest shops here in the New York City area that are hidden gems that a lot of people don't really know about, and they're also easy on your wallet. I like that with New York fashion, nobody cares. You can do whatever it is that you please. You can be yourself. You can express yourself the way that you want to with your fashion. And I see myself as a canvas, and my clothes are my art. And I like that I can express that here. Some people feel that you have to go to Fifth Avenue or go to Soho to get high-end fashion, and that's not really the case. Sometimes the best places are right in your backyard. Vitrina and Vogue is about finding stores that cater to everyone and make everyone feel like they don't have to fit a mold. You've just been Vogue is a saying that I say that is pretty much saying you've just been informed. I just put you on to the best of the best. You've just been Vogue.
It's a 79-73 final. The blue team with the victory, and standing with the MVP is Brian Fonseca. He's there with Ronald Jefferson. Brian?
Here with Ronald Jefferson, the MVP of the first game of the Unsigned Hype Showcase as the blue team won 79-73. Ron, what was it like to go out there, win the MVP, at this showcase in front of coaches, in front of everybody watching, to just show out, have a big game?
I mean, it was a lot of coaches, a lot of competition. You got to play your hardest, in front of your coaches, play smart, play defense, try to get the win.
Where do you feel like this leaves you when it comes to, perhaps making a decision as you get closer to that now that we're in April,
Hopefully from this I can pick up some interest from schools, get closer to my decision. I'll probably be making my decision around June, so where I'm going to attend college next year. But this was a great experience. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm thankful. Thank God, everything.
And just generally speaking, what do you think is the importance of games like these? You have the chance to showcase it. You won MVP, so this is obviously going to uplift you in some way. So the importance of just having these games in general to be able to show out in front of a bunch of people.
It's important, very important. It's a lot of people here that don't have opportunity to play in front of colleges, maybe at their school. James, great event. Tippy, a great event. I mean, you just got to play hard and keep working.
Congratulations once again to Ronald Jefferson, our MVP of the Unsigned Hype Showcase. Game 2 will be starting at 8 p.m. between the black and the white team. Guys?
All right, Brian, thanks a lot. That was a good showing out of Ronald Jefferson. He played pretty well. And on the other side, as the black and white teams are getting ready for Game 2, we'll look at the PSAL side of things. Ronald Jefferson, of course, playing at Christ the King. Najee Scott from Boys and Girls. Kind of underlooked at from Gianni Ford, but he's standing by with Brian Fonseca. Brian.
Here with Najee Scott from the red team from Boys and Girls High School. And they just lost 79-73, but you were able to do some big things. A lot of people were taking note of your three-point shooting. You were shooting it from everywhere. You were hitting it from everywhere, contested. How important is it to have that big game in this kind of showcase in April?
It's very important, because a lot of coaches are here, so I just want to show my ability to shoot, show them I can shoot with good percentage and from all around the floor.
Where do you feel like this leaves you as it comes to your college decision? You got a lot of schools perhaps looking at you or whatever the case may be, and now it comes time for the decision, and you have a performance like this under your belt. Where do you feel like this leaves you?
It leaves me with a lot of opportunities. I feel like I left myself with a good chance of getting some interest against some schools, and that's what I'm here for.
And talk about briefly the importance of games like these. You were able to show out and obviously have a big game. Like I said, you were hitting threes from God knows where on the court today. And, just overall just having the performance with a lot of eyeballs on you, and you were able to, rise to the occasion, so to speak.
Yeah, it was very important to show them I could shoot. That's what my mindset was. Don't come in here and do anything that I couldn't do. Just shoot the ball. Show them I could shoot with perfection. And that's what you have to do.
Again, that was Najee Scott. Guys, back to you.
All right, Brian, good job. And that will do it for game number 1. For my partner, Pat McCormick, executive producer Dexter Henry, and our producer, Paul Becker, I'm John Perez signing off. Game 2 coming up in just a couple of moments here on BackpackBroadcasting.com.
I will bring it to your set. I got now, I don't kill, got next.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.